I mentioned in lesson 7 that it was a little longer and more involved because we read several stories. But this lesson, The Monkey's Paw, has a lot going on. Um, the reason is, though, it's a classic short story and it's been presented in several different genres. And we thought it's a good time to compare those genres, the short story and the play, and even the videos that have been made on this. There's just so much available on The Monkey's Paw. Perhaps you've even read it before. So we start with some before reading strategies here. And then these are the pages of the short story itself that you'll probably need to print off and read, unless you can turn it sideways and you like reading on your computer. Then on page 10, we start talking about the story. So it's just some reading, and if had I made videos earlier, I might have gone through and made a video about this, but hopefully you can enjoy reading through these sections and get the information from it that way. Here we're talking about superstitions because that's a big part of the short story, The Monkey's Paw. And at the bottom we have oral interpretation, where you are asked to practice reading a portion and present it orally to an audience. So I think it's our first opportunity for speaking other than the interview from the first lesson. The checklist that you should go through beforehand and have someone, whoever's listening to you, have it in front of them and give you feedback afterwards. On page 13, we're talking about vocabulary and how to use context clues to figure out words that you don't know as you come to them. Now we've dealt with a short story, and so we're going to talk about reading the play. And we talk a little bit about the difference here on this page and show the excerpt from the short story as it was here, and then the same thing in a play form. And then we talk about how you stage directions are given and how you write script, and give you an opportunity to write a short portion of the story in the script. There's a lot going on this page too, 17. At the top here, you can actually compare your script to one that's written, and I've got a website for that. And then in the second box, you're going to view a play version, which is going to be in the following pages, and compare that to the short story. And then we just fit it in here a little bit about foreshadowing, because it is a technique that stands out a lot in this particular selection. Here you've got the monkey's paw as it appears in the sightlines text. And then after reading the play activities, what you're asked to do, and then set goals for improvement. And in this case, you're just going to reflect on the questions and discuss them with someone else. If you don't have anyone to discuss them with, perhaps you can just write in your journal. Not done yet. Now we have to get to the writing part. We're going to write a persuasive writing piece. And again, you've been given information on how to do that, a short video, and some information written here. And the evaluation. The evaluation follows on the second page here coming up. After the differentiating, okay, you might want to look at some versions on YouTube of it, and the extending. Here's your rubric for the persuasive writing. And then the checklist. It's a long one, and yes, you might spend a week doing this one lesson. But I think most parts of it, it's very different, and it's a classic, so I think it's worth the time. Enjoy The Monkey's Paw.